Hey, welcome back to Judicial Dollars and Cents. This is the podcast where we talk about the business side of running a law firm. And we are coming to you live from the PILMMA Super Summit in San Antonio, Texas. And I'm very excited today to have my brush with fame, Frank Biden, who you may recognize as the president's younger brother. Mm-hmm. Frank, welcome to the show.
My pleasure to be with you.
Hey, so Frank, what brings you to the PILMMA Super Summit?
Well, I'm here on behalf of a company I helped birth called Claim Angel, which is a litigation funding company. It's a long-winded way of saying we get money to plaintiffs. We're not the funder. We operate a platform. We have 30, 35 funders who actually dole out the money. We provide the platform to get money to plaintiffs in between settlement and time of injury. But the big difference is we founded this company on the basis of a principle called social justice, which means people should not have to pay an unconscionable interest rate on the money they borrow in a time of extreme trauma and distress. So we will not lend money at higher than a credit card interest rate. So it's credit card interest rate or below. We have a 2x cap, which means they're not going to be paying money over time. There are no increase arbitrarily during the period of that loan. And we will lend money repeatedly based on need. The attorney is in the driver's seat, so all the parameters of the case are given to us, and we follow their instructions as to how much money ought to be lent and at what point in time. But we get money to the plaintiff if some very simple docs are in order within hours.
I love this concept because the plaintiff's life can be turned upside down. They might not be able to work. They can't get to work because their car's wrecked. Their whole livelihood is at risk if they don't have current cash.
This is serious trauma, and most American families live from paycheck to paycheck. People live with maybe $300-400 in cushion, and if they go 3 weeks without being able to get to work, they're on the street. My friends and people I grew up with I don't know about you. I'm in a different milieu now by the grace of God. I'm able to, I could afford to be sick for a very long time, and I have, and was able to survive. But imagine the money problems on top of the trauma of the injury itself to you or the people you love.
Yeah,
it's unconscionable that people are burdened with the idea of borrowing money at 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100% interest rate. And it gives our profession a horrible name.
Exactly. So how does Claim Angel go to market? We market through the attorneys?
We do. We go to personal injury attorneys. Look, I've got to give credit where credit is due. Kudos to John Morgan. John has been a friend of mine for 40 plus years. And John abhors the idea of lending money to people in distress. And I couldn't agree more. But all that was available in the past, because he would lend the money himself if he could, but you're not allowed to do that by law. The only thing available out there were these, for lack of a better term of art, payday lenders. Predatory lenders. And even giving them a break, they couldn't lend money at a credit card interest rate because they would lose money doing so. So we had to come up with an ingenious method, and I credit that to the brilliant young men and women we have working for us to come up with an algorithm to circuit and Jeremy Alters, who was the CEO of our company, and I were able to go out to these other companies who lend money, create a consortium so that by the volume of cases that we're feeding them, they were able to lower the interest rate commensurately.
Because they can diversify their
portfolio. It makes sense. Look, I'm not a math wizard, but this is simple arithmetic. Volume decreases the amount of interest that you have to carry. Right. So in addition to the fact that the methodology is really ingenious. Now I'm really out of my wheelhouse talking about algorithms and quantum mechanics involved in the sharing of information, what have you. But the bottom line is this: we're there for people who are in terrible need in a terrible time of their life, and I couldn't be more proud of this company were it my child.
So Claim Angel acts as a connector between the attorney plaintiffs and the investors then, I guess, bid on whether or not they want to participate.
They compete.
Okay.
They have room full of people. When I say this, I mean they literally have rooms full of people now who are waiting for the case to be put up on the screen and to press the button to grab the case.
So what kind of information do you...
A police report, medical report, basic stuff that is given to the attorney when someone comes in with an injury. That's what the plaintiff's attorney gathers. He sent to us. It takes about a 7-minute upload. That's all it takes. Even I can do it. And I'm 72 years old and about as facile on a computer as I am, riding an alligator. So the bottom line is that any idiot can do it because I can.
I can see where your brother got his self-deprecation.
Well, I mean that quite literally. I'm not stupid in some areas, and I'm gifted in a very, very few, but that's not one of them.
Well, I really enjoyed this, so I'm going to ask you an off-the-wall question after this. Tell me how people can get a hold of you or Claim Angel.
ClaimAngel.com. It's that simple. And you can get a hold of me. I get my phone number out right on the airwaves. I'm at 561-376-8812. And if you call me with any questions about Claim Angel, I can refer you to people much smarter than I.
I love that delegation.
And
I'm in the same boat.
I'm a great delegator.
A similar age, we're boomers. And
we've learned something, haven't we?
So before we end,
yes,
I want to ask you, just tell me the most impressive thing that while your brother was president or vice president that you got to do that you otherwise wouldn't have gotten to do.
Well, I was privileged I wasn't around much during the presidency. Unlike this, our family did not go in and out of the White House.
Well, he was probably pretty busy too.
He was pretty busy. But when he was a U.S. Senator, I worked for Bill Clinton. And so when Joe was chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, I was privileged to travel with him throughout the world. As in my billet, I was able to, in other words, not with him or under his auspices. I didn't work for him. But I was able to meet world leaders that some of whom I'm proud to still be in contact with. And that was an incredible privilege. And the fact that I'm my brother's brother and he enjoys a reputation that I don't think too many Americans are too aware of. He is very, very well respected throughout the world. So when I travel outside the U.S., I'm treated like royalty. And it's all because of my big brother.
Frank, this was wonderful, and thank you so much for coming
Thank you. My
Great
pleasure.
to meet you. And thank you all for listening. We'll see you next time on Judicial Dollars and Cents. Thanks for joining us on Judicial Dollars and Cents, presented by Anders Virtual CFO Services. If you found value in today's conversation, be sure to follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcast. To learn more about how Anders helps law firms strengthen their financial foundations and drive growth, visit anderscpa.com. Until next time, keep making smart decisions that make perfect sense.